Hey, good morning, family. It's kind of another random pop up video. It's kind of random. Thank you guys for watching The World's Best Kept Secret. This Facebook page is called The World's Best Kept Secret. Before I get into what I want to talk about, I just want to say that, clarify for those that don't know, The World's Best Kept Secret, I've been having this page for almost 10 years now. The world's best kept secret is the fact that the people who were taken from West Africa and enslaved in the Americas and the Western world, those people were actually descendants of the biblical Israelites, right? By way of the tribes over in West Africa, Igbo, Ewe, Ga, Yoruba. Many of those tribes are actually descendants of the biblical Israelites. So that's the world's best kept secret in a nutshell. I've got many posts explaining the details of that, but the people who were brought here were descendants. Many of them were descendants of the biblical Israelites. But I just had a thought I wanted to discuss this morning, all right, on why it is important, why we, especially blacks, need to know the origins, especially blacks, right? We have a unique situation. Can't compare us to the other people. Can't compare us to the other people. We're not immigrants, right? We are not immigrants. Immigrants came over here for a better life. That wasn't why we came, right? So we're not immigrants. So our perspective is different. You know, ain't about no division. It's just what it is. Our perspective is different. So our struggle is different. but we need to understand the origins of things, right? I was thinking about, so I'm an electrician. I've been doing electrical work for almost 30 years. Got my own company. It's my shirt. I got my own company. I've been having my own company for 15 years. My brother's a plumbing contractor. He's been doing it for 20 years. It's just what we do. But I was thinking about this morning, thinking about when I first got into the trade, and I learned things that I could fix at home, right? This was exciting to me. This was 30 years ago. I learned things that I could fix at home. One of the first things that I remember was we had a bathroom light. You know, my grandmother had 16 children, and I'm her grandchild. She brought me and my brother and my sister in at a young age. So we had a house full of children. So anyway, one of our bathroom lights, it was I don't remember what was wrong with it exactly, but we had to unscrew the bulb and screw it on for the light to come on. You had to walk in a dark bathroom, screw the bulb in tight for the light to come on, unscrew it for the light to go off. So when I got into electrical school, almost 30 years ago, that was the first thing that I fixed. When I got back home, I realized how it was supposed to be. When I understood how the wiring was supposed to be, then I could correct it and we could use a switch. But I remember how when I understood how the wiring was supposed to be, then I could make the correction, because we was living like that for years. And I thought about that, and I thought about us as a people, right? We don't know how it is supposed to be. This is why we need to know the origins. Because when you understand the origins, everything don't look like progress. When you really understand the origins, how it is supposed to be. So we say we're getting equality, well, I always say it's not us that's getting the equality. Let me rephrase that. We say we're making progress. That's what I meant to say. We're making progress, right? We say we are making progress. I say no, they are making progress. They are making progress. We, we wasn't the ones doing all this crazy stuff. They're making progress in this relationship. But we understand who we were. So on the Hebrew side, because Hebrew, and you watch any of my other videos, I encourage you guys to go through this page. And if you're watching this from YouTube, go watch the other videos, watch the other posts, because I explain that the Hebrews were an African people by ethnicity, not talking about sons of Ham. You need to look at the other posts, because Africans was not just sons of Ham. There were no different. Noah did not have 3 sons of 3 different races. I've made this clear in a lot of my videos. Noah did not have 3. It's not like only Africans, like Ham had 1 son that was African, and the rest of them was different races. Well, that's nowhere in the Bible. I don't want to get into all that, but I might need to touch on it. Noah did not have 3 sons of 3 different races. That's not in the Bible. That myth was conjured up to justify slavery and the slave trade, right? But so the point, you can watch, I think the last live that I made, I really explained all of this stuff. I don't want to go into that. I don't want this video to be too long, but just understanding that the Hebrews were an African people by ethnicity. Their ethnicity was African. Their lineage was Hebrew, descendants of one person. Hebrews wasn't a race in the Bible. Hebrews is a family, descendants of Abraham. Me and my brother have children. His children are his lineage, his descendants. My children are my lineage, my descendants. 2 lineages, 1 ethnicity. A lineage is not a race. I know that's the narrative we've been taught. But a lineage doesn't mean it's that there's nowhere in scripture or history where anybody had children of different races, right? I don't want to get stuck on it. I've talked about that a lot. But I was just making a point that so you have Hebrews, which is an African culture. There are many African cultures, right? There are many African cultures. So you got Hebrews, and then you have the different cultures over in Africa. You got the Yorubas, you got the non-biblical cultures, but they're all African. But once we understand how intelligent the Africans were and still are, and how we are supposed to be, then we won't just be okay, talking about unity, but then we're wearing their clothes, we're speaking their language, but you don't see no Europeans wearing dashikis. I mean, what are we unifying around? I'm all for unity. I was talking to a white guy at work yesterday. Cool guy, because I'm the same everywhere I go, but I respect everybody. But I was telling him, as Black people, we have to start with us first, right? If one person was getting married to a lady, well, then them getting married don't make each other whole. They have to be whole first. Each person has to know who they are first before they come together. So understanding the origins, how it is supposed to be. I just wanted to throw this little thought in. This is why it is important, because many people don't like to hear anything about history. They don't really want to hear anything about Black culture, biblical or anything other than the narrative of this culture here. We're celebrating these holidays, and the holiday today that they call Thanksgiving. Well, the origin of that wasn't happy. Wasn't anything happy about it. I'm all for building with family. Anything that we build with, like getting together and building with family, is beautiful, but we need to understand the origin. It was a sad day for the Native Americans here, right? They mourn on this day. So just understand that, and don't run from the truth. Don't run from what is true. Only the truth will make you free. So if you're happy and you're enjoying your family, you're cooking turkeys and all this and that, well, make it do what it do. But just don't run from history, right? It's important. It's vitally important, especially for people whose history was stripped. We need to know our history. You need to know the origins. If you don't know where you come from, you won't have a clue where you're going. You won't even have no answers for it today. All right, so that's basically what I can go on and on and on, but I wanted to make this real short. I'm out working today. Got a lot of stuff to do, and I hope everybody is being fruitful and making the most of what you got to work with. All right. So God is good. As long as we take responsibility and don't expect for another people to do what we're supposed to do, what we're called to do, and what we can do, and what we are doing. We are doing it. Just take a look around. Take a look around. Dig a little deeper. You see, we are, and we have been doing it. It hadn't been up in the media, but we have been digging, and we got people over in Africa, black people right now. People are from the diaspora, digging up in Egypt, digging up, we're doing a lot of things. We are doing a lot of things, but we need to do more. So don't expect for other people to do what we can do. The blessing is in the doing. It's more blessed to give than it is to receive. But the blessing is in the blessing is in the doing. You don't always want to be on the receiving end. The receiving end is good, but we got to get in there and get our hands dirty. That's just what it is. We'll never be satisfied. I was also telling that white guy yesterday, just as we were talking, I just told him, I said, racism will never end. And I say this on a few videos. It's not to be mean, not to be negative. It's just the truth. Racism. That's why I was explaining to him about the two in a relationship, right? Two people. The relationship don't make the two people. Racism is the relationship, right? Racism is the relationship. But we are not just a relationship, right? We are more than how we are treated. Racism will never end. There always has been good and evil, and always will be good and evil until the world comes to an end, until Jesus comes back, until Yeshua comes back, until whatever you believe, until the world comes to the end, there always has been good and evil, and there always will be good and evil. Always. So to think that one day racism will come to a complete end is a pipe dream. Now, we do fight for justice, definitely. We fight for justice. Yeah. That ain't no two ways about that. But just thinking that our only fight is to end racism is not good, because our first mission is to understand who we are. Got those two people in that marriage again. They need to understand who they are. Then they can be a blessing in the relationship. So, but it's good to know the origins, right? In the beginning, we knew who we weren't dependent on nobody. We didn't have these small families like we do now. Our families are way too small. Our perception of our family is way too small. Way too small. Families are supposed to be self-sufficient. The families are supposed to be self-sufficient. The families are supposed to have their own counselors, their own military, their own priests, their own everything is supposed to be in the family. This is how I'm talking about understanding the origins. A strong nation, strong families, but families are supposed to be huge and connected. That's what slavery did to us. So I'm not knocking us, but I'm just saying we need to understand how it is supposed to be. We just need to understand that, so we're not satisfied with just anything mediocrity, right? But we're getting there. This stuff didn't happen overnight. This mess didn't happen overnight, so it won't be corrected overnight. But we got to be heading in the right direction, not in the wrong direction, not in the direction that's good for another people, not in a direction that's good for a direction that is unapologetically good for us. Better be courageous about that. Unapologetically good for us and our children, because we have issues that we have to deal with that are affecting us and our children just because we're black. So we can't be, we can't be jelly-backed about this. It's just what it is. It don't mean we hate nobody. It's just that we taking responsibility for who we are. But anyway, family, God bless everybody. Enjoy your day. Make the absolute most of it all. Go to my YouTube page, The World's Best Kept Secret on YouTube. Got a lot of videos that I can't put on here. They're way too long. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow this page, my Facebook page, The World's Best Kept Secret. Like I said, The World's Best Kept Secret, for those who wasn't on here at the beginning, The World's Best Kept Secret. What I mean by The World's Best Kept Secret is the fact that the people who were brought here from West Africa most of them were and are descendants of the biblical Israelites. It's in the blood. I've been doing genealogy for over 15 years, right? That's the way I see everything, through the eyes of genealogy. My research is through genealogy. But that's just what it is. We're descendants by way of the tribes over in West Africa right now. They'll tell you. The Igbos, they'll tell you they came from Israel. That's their history. The Aways, but it's really Eva. It's really Eva. So I did an interview with a young lady who was an Eva. Her name is Sarah Mazanku. Awesome, amazing sister. She has a YouTube page. I'm gonna butcher it, I know. Eve, the black man. Anyway, Sarah Mazanku. She's on Facebook and YouTube. But there's so many people who are confirming this over in Africa. Mawuli. There's just so many people over there. So there's a lot of history, good stuff. But for us to get a good, strong start, we've got to know the origins, right? Real education, not just the education that we're taught over here. Anyway, I can go on and on. God bless everybody. Shalom. Make the most of what you got, right? And we are going somewhere. All right. Grace and peace. Shalom. Bye-bye.